Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm your host, Micah Frankel, and today we're joined by Kenan Jackson coming off a win at LFA 108. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm good. It's been way too long since I've talked to you.
Yeah, it's been some time.
How did it feel to get back in the cage, have a fight?
I was amazing. I was super thankful for it. Just a big relief, you know. I told a couple of people, I was like, if I know how to cry, I cry right now because I just hadn't been in the cage for so long. But that was the extent of the emotions I was feeling, and so I was just thankful for every second to be there and for LFA to set it up and for Blayne to accept the fight and everybody to make their part to make that fight happen.
What was camp like? It was your first camp under these kind of still new circumstances as we're starting to get back to normal.
Yeah. Camp was normal as usual. Just added a little work in there because I work a full-time job now too. Get my work in, get my technique in. Staying on top of cardio and training, things like that. So just working on new skills and trying to better myself and with my striking. So it's been a great camp. But I guess I wouldn't call it camp. Like it's been a great period of training. I kind of like stay in the flow of training, so I don't really call it like a fight camp.
And it took so long with everything that had happened. You had one fight scheduled, it fell out. Was there anything different with that time off? Any different feeling getting back in there?
No. Actually, I told my corner man Joel right before the fight started. I told him, I was like, yeah, I feel so present right now, like alert. But I didn't feel any different, and I feel like a reason for that is because I didn't get lazy during the time away from the cage or being in there. Like I was continuing training and finding new ways to reinvent myself, and so I was still growing. You just couldn't see that in the cage.
Let's talk about the fight exactly. Goes all 3 rounds. Let's just start at the beginning. Let's talk about the first round. How did you feel about that first round? You both landed some good strikes, but you had the big takedown.
Yeah. First round felt great. It was a filling out process, and Blayne's is very tall and he's long, and so I knew he would do well at using that length, and so just kind of filling that out, feeling what attacks he's coming with, and then another thing was his wrestling. How good is his wrestling, or because the videos I've watched on him on YouTube, all of them ended on the ground, or he would take a shot on the guy and take him down, and so the first round was definitely filling out process. I don't think too much was rushed on my end. Yeah, I was playing it safe a little bit, like not so much aggressive at first, but until once I got warmed up and fill them out a little bit, then things start to cook up some.
Talk to me about the choke in the second round.
Yeah. So in the second round, that choke was when I had it standing, it was tight. The only problem was that I didn't have it secured, with the rest of my body. I was just using my upper body. And the reason for that, I don't like to be on the guard in a fight. In jiu-jitsu, yeah, I jump guard and, try to finish it there. But in a fight, not so much, for the reason that if he gets out, now I'm on bottom, I got to get up. And so that's where the roll comes in. And then I get his back. And Blayne did an excellent job defending the choke, hiding his chin well. And I had the choke across his jaw, but he's tough. Blayne's super tough guy. You can sense it. And I could sense it before the fight, even at the weigh-ins. And, I could tell he was game. But I got to feel it in that moment. He wasn't going to tap to just like some pain or pressure. I needed to get it in. And so at that point, he was doing a good job defending it. So I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to waste my energy on it if it's not like super tight, or if I'm not under the chin there. So he got out, or I kind of let go, or then force it.
Let's get to the third round. Again, mostly on the feet. How do you feel about your improvements over the last 2 years in your striking?
Yeah, so I've been working on my striking a lot, and that's the first fight I've been on the feet for, I'll say about 80-85% of the time we were on the feet. And so for me, for my personal goals, I was super happy about that. To Because that's a mental thing, to stay on, like, comfortable on your feet, and I feel like he's a good striker. He's fought some other people, you know, he can outstrike some people, I feel like, especially with his length at 170. And so to do that and be comfortable, and I was proud of myself. Now there was other things technique wise on my end that I know I need to work on, but all in all, I was happy that it stayed on the feet. That was my goal, to not wrestle so much, unless it was kind of just obvious there. And I can't help it. If I feel something, I feel something. But my goal was to keep it on the feet most of the time.
And also, as they said during the broadcast, man, that left hook was looking sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been working on that a lot, and it's just, I found it a couple of times, and I wish I'd followed up with it, after I cracked him with the left hook. But that's another thing I need to work on.
What's the plan, or what would you like to have happen?
Hopefully, I can get another fight, within like a month or so, and then I'll continue to work on, improving myself. But yeah, I definitely want to fight pretty soon here. About a month would be great, just to get the ball rolling. I'm still broke, so I would like to get back to where I'm training full time. That's the real goal. And then I feel like once I get back to that point where I'm training full time, you guys will see a whole different monster like come out of me, just because I'm in it. I'm fully indulged in it.
How do you grade the performance overall? Fight was great. Judges scored in your favor. How do you feel about it, though?
I give it a 70.
A 70 out of 100?
Yeah, I give it a 70.
What's the biggest glaring aspect that you saw that you need to improve on?
I know it's a general answer, but everything, And I also like to get finishes. And that's the first fight that I didn't get to finish, so I was really upset about that.
You got on that LFA stage. We know that that's a big thing in of its own, getting the right eyes on you.
It feels good, but I'm not letting it, like, all the hype and stuff go to my head. A lot of people have been congratulating me and telling me, which I get. They're happy for me too, and I also get that LFA is a great stage, and probably the number one feeder show for the UFC, which is great that I'm there. But at the same time, it's like I'm staying humble, and I'm not taking it to the head, so to say. Like, the next day I went right back to training. Literally not even 24 hours. That morning I got up, started hitting it. So, that's how I'm gonna continue to roll with that.
Is that how you've attacked everything?
Everything and anything. That's how I'm attacking it. Everything and anything.
Guy that, when we were talking before, you're never sitting still, and there's never a lack of projects, it seems like.
I like learning in general, so I just, try to keep busy as much as possible.
How do you find balance for everything you listed off to me earlier? I believe you're still with the service, you got work, you've got school, and you've got training. How do you find the time to balance all these?
It's just kind of, I try to find openings, I guess, or like throughout the day, like how can I maximize my day to day. And then when you do that for a long time, you start seeing little holes, or different patterns, and just kind of shift things or squeeze things in this hour or that hour. And then if you got spare time, like in chunks, like say on the weekend or whatsoever, then you could fit things there too as well. And a big help is that I stopped drinking about 3 years ago, and so that freed up a lot of time for sure. Because when you drink, your sleep cycle's all jacked up, and then you gotta recover from that too. And then your mind's already foggy from like consistent drinking. So once I stopped doing that, it's like I got a shit ton of time to do whatever I want, as long as I'm staying disciplined with everything, like with fighting and important stuff and not getting lazy.
So what's the list of goals look like right now?
Right now, I want to compete 4 more times this year. It could be fighting or jiu-jitsu. I want to get my skydiving A license by the end of the year, and then begin my master's degree about 2 weeks. That's kind of like a long-term goal. Go home and see my family. It's been about 2 years since I've seen them, so I need to go home back to the dirty South.
Seems like you've earned a vacation and you got enough on your plate that you should hurry up and take one.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Talk to me about the skydiving real quick.
Yeah, so I don't know, it started like no lie, that stemmed from watching the Power Rangers movie, like the original Power Rangers movie, when they entered the first scene or they're jumping out of the plane and Tommy had like the snowboard, he was sky surfing. And so from then I was like, yo, that looks hella fun. And so and then I was like, oh, you can get certified. I started learning more about skydiving after I did a couple of tandem jumps. And a good friend of mine, Justin, me and him think kind of similar. We do a lot of running and training together, but it was one of his goals too. And I was like, this is perfect. I was like, that's all I needed was somebody to, be my wingman or like co-sign with it. And so he actually found a good program up in Denver that's where we started our licensing. And so yeah, we just went for it, and like I wasn't having any fights or anything. So I was like, well, time is now for me to start that. And then boom, it just took off.
Awesome. What, if you can describe it, is that experience like jumping out of a plane and plummeting to earth?
It's very relatable to fighting. I know like a lot of people talk, well, not a lot of people, but you've heard like Jordan Masvidal say like there's no other drug like fighting that people try to mimic, but you can't get it unless you're in a fight. I feel like skydiving is definitely right next to that because they both involve like, possibility of dying or, they're extreme sports. But I feel like you have to be able to think under extreme pressure. And the more I'm learning about skydiving, I'm realizing it's not that like I guess crazy or scary as a lot of people think. It is scary because you're dropping down to the earth and a whole bunch of things could go wrong. But if you prepare yourself for it, it kind of knows that fear. And so yeah, when you jump out of that plane, and I remember I did my first assisted free fall, and just looking at the earth and you're going through your procedures that you went through in the classroom. And so you don't really have too much time to be afraid. Your brain is just like, boom, it's working now. It's ting, 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 ting. But then once you pull that chute and then your instructors fly away, and then now you got to fly it. And now you got to fly this canopy. And like, you kind of get that dump from free falling of adrenaline. And that's pretty intense. I remember I was up there screaming. I was like, woo! I was like, holy shit, like it's so much. But then you're like, oh shit, I need to fly this, and I need to land it. And so it's just pure adrenaline. And there's no like, it's definitely similar to fighting. And I feel like this would be excellent for my fighting because it's going to teach me how to think even more under extreme pressure. When I can't fight, I can go skydive. It's still at the same time, even though it's fun, but I'm still working and improving myself in the aspect of like, I guess, transcending fear.
I gotta ask, do you get a bigger enjoyment for that beating a challenge or from adrenaline?
Both. I like both. It's equal. Yeah, I love the adrenaline. You know, I like doing. Yeah, because they're both rewarding. You know, challenges like overcoming challenges. That's those are always going to be great, no matter what you do. Especially if you learn to get good at attacking challenges. That's always fun. And then the adrenaline. That's just it's another bonus because your sense everything's heightened, and it's it's like you're on drugs, but you're not. It's natural, and so they're equally up there.
Sir, it's great to see you back in action. Was there ever any point where you're like, maybe I'm not going to compete again in MMA?
So I was kind of getting to like I would fight it mentally, like, oh, I know it's coming. I say like I've been patient. 2 years is a long time, and so 2 years of like inactivity is like I was training that whole time as well. It's not like I was taking a break. No, every day I was like, oh, I'm getting ready for the day when I get that call to go back, and so. But it did get harder towards the end. Trying to stay motivated, especially when things were opening up. And so now you got promotions throwing fights, but then now everybody's like, no, we don't want to fight. We don't want to fight them. We're getting a lot of turn downs. And so I was like, damn, that was discouraging. It wasn't even the fact that, because I knew there was already a big reason of COVID shutting down the promotions, but then, people are saying, no, we don't want to take that fight. We don't want to take that fight. And I get it. You got to be smart. It's still, at the end of the day, it's still business and it's still your career. So you don't want to cherry pick too much, but you also want to make sure that the playing field is even, if you're going into something. And so I understand that aspect of it. But yeah, I was getting super discouraging towards the end. And I was like, that's when skydiving was perfect timing because it allowed me to express myself and still, and find joy. It's life enriching. And so that's exactly what I needed.
Right. And I don't know how you assess the fight, but outside looking in, you against Blayne, a lot of people would say you would want to know him at 3-1, that was a step up in competition for you.
And, as you can see, he's no punk, he's no slouch over, and tough dude. And so, but at the same time, that's kind of like where I'm at, where like me and my team know where I'm at, just because, like I said, I've been training this whole time and I've been getting better. And so, and that's at the end of the day, that's really that all that matters is, because when I started martial arts, I didn't even know about the sport of fighting. I just wanted to do martial arts because I thought it was fun. And so that's where I deep down I like and care about the most, it's just getting better and seeing that improvement.
And I do remember you're heavily active in jiu-jitsu. Any tournaments, competition, anything like that possibly on tap?
Nah, it's crazy. I actually had a Pan American tournament Sunday before my fight. So I fought Friday, and I was in Dallas Sunday at Pan Americans, but I didn't want to tell anybody. I just kind of kept that on the low. But I lost in the first round via referee's decision at the IBJJF middleweight. Tough tournament. We both had one advantage. And so, but right now I need to focus on, other things and avenues. So I'm going to take a slight break and just build up, my life foundation, and then, save some money. And then once I get everything to work, once I get, my foundation set, then I'm going to start going back to just compete in jiu-jitsu as much as I can and trying to get fights as much as I can.
It was great getting to talk to you, catching up with you.